Welcome back to the Don't Be Shy podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? No, let me just serious one, innit? Welcome back to the Don't Be Shy podcast. And today we've got a special guest in Miele to talk about a very serious topic, a conversation that a lot of people need to hear from Miele. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, thank you again for coming out. And
It's
taking
all
time
right.
out, yeah. It's about mental health and how a lot of people suffer from it, and you don't need to be a silent sufferer. And it's better if you can speak to people like Miele and myself. So just introduce yourself, Miele.
Hi. So I've got a little bit of background working around people who suffer from mental health and things like that. And I just really want to bring awareness to Leeds. Obviously, previously in the past few years, I feel like the stigma around it has improved. A lot of people used to look down on it like a good few years ago, but now we're getting to a place where people are starting to open up a little bit more. But the only thing is they might be opening up, but they don't know which services are, where they can actually access help from. And I just think it's important to get the message out there to people that you don't need to suffer in silence. There's people out there that you can speak to, people that are trained. And it's not something to be ashamed of. Like, no one asks to live with mental health on a day-to-day basis. I've come across a lot of different people. It's caused by something. It's not your fault. And I feel like the stigmas are, I've got X, Y, Z, whatever it may be, anxiety, depression, PTSD, bipolar, it could be any of that. But a lot of people take self-blame. And I think it's important to get the message across that it really isn't that. And that people are there to support you and to speak up because it is important. So yeah, obviously that's what I'm hoping to try and get across today to you guys. Obviously Leeds, a lot of people know a lot of people. We're quite a close-knit community, I'd say. And I feel like we should be able to help each other, help young people, males, females, doesn't matter who you are, where you're from.
Ages as well, innit?
Exactly, it does not matter. Just to speak up, and hopefully we can get the message across to you guys today.
So when we want to speak up about mental health, it's just like the people that suffer silently, as you've worked with people that suffer with mental health. Why do you think they suffer silently instead of coming to speak to people like you or brands or like companies? You know what I'm saying? So, why are they sort of silent sufferers?
I feel like it's embarrassment. Based off previous experience talking to people about this same thing. I feel like they're embarrassed to open up and say, oh wait, I feel like there's a problem. It's that first initial step where you feel like you know something's not quite right, but you just can't put your finger on it. You see what I mean? And it's like, but then you're seeing people around you, you're reading up, there's loads of things in the newspapers, tabloids, all social media platforms and things like that. And you think, oh, what if I do suffer with this? It's taking that first step. So to me personally, my advice to anybody who feels like that at the moment, who feels like something's not quite right, you know yourself when something's wrong. I would strongly advise you to, if you don't want to speak to a friend yet because you don't feel comfortable, it's fine. There's no pressure. That's the other thing as well. We can't, just because, like, say me and you are best friends and I'm suffering with something, I might not feel like I can talk to you right now, but I'll speak to someone professionally. There's a GP, there's crisis team, counselling, therapist, and then I can come to you afterwards. So it's not a thing of I don't want my friend to help me. It's just we need to get the professional help first and the input to see what it is. It's a big step and it is scary, but once you just it's the first step, like I said, getting over that, then you're okay. You can just start keep the ball rolling. Your job, the only job you have is to speak up. That's it. Just to speak up. Even if it's not to family, friends, mums, dad, it's fine. Speak to a GP. Literally speak to a GP, and then they will do the rest of the sort of the groundwork to who to put you in contact with. It's really important, and I can't stress it enough to speak up, because I think we all know in Leeds there's a few people that unfortunately have passed away under awful circumstances, suicidal circumstances, and it is a touchy subject, but we can't really beat it around. We've got to get to the point. It's sad that it's happening, but it is happening. If we can do anything to try and prevent it happening, people just need the information. I don't feel like growing up I didn't really any information sort of thing. It's only what I've been taught and trained in, which is why I know what I know. So there's other people like me that don't know, which is why I'm telling you that there is things out there and there's people out there to help.
So do you know, like, especially the black community, it's like when we grow up, it's like we get told there's no such thing as mental health.
Yeah.
It's like we beat around the bush. Black people don't suffer from mental health. Why do you think that's the normal? You know what I'm saying? I feel like
it's a generational thing. Like the typical old black people that, no, nothing wrong with you, yeah, right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know.
You know, fix up. You just bad behaviour. It's not that. Like it's not that. I think, but it's not their. I don't think it's their fault either. To be fair, like it's just like I say, it's generational. So the old school black people, they'll just think you're bad behaved, or say if you suffer from depression, for example, and you low mood, you just sort of like an introvert and you just down. They'll just think that you're in a mood because of something or someone's done something to upset you. There's no such thing in there. And I just feel like it's because back in the day, remember, mental health used to go undiagnosed for years before our mums, our dads, our granddads and grandmas. So it's back. That mental health didn't exist.
Yes.
Technically. So it's just sort of trickled down. Now, us, the young ones, it's like our parents were probably still trying to get their head around it, like say the 50-year-olds, etc.
Yeah.
They're starting to realise now, maybe, there is such thing as mental health and there is these conditions. And now for us, we've got it in us like, right, so we're making awareness. So now, when we have kids, we'll pass it down. It's just one of them things. So I feel like with the old people, and especially in the black community, it's just a thing of, it's more bad behaviour and things like that. And it's not that. We know that now, but we have to also understand that they didn't know that then because it wasn't a thing then. So we can't really be mad at them or sort of feel a type of way negatively towards them when it didn't exist then.
Yes.
And I feel like that's their sort of problem. But now, as I say, it's trickled down to us and we understand and there's a lot more awareness.
So you've worked with people that suffer with mental health, severe and mildly. How did it feel when they approached you, and what advice and what advice did you give them to help to speak out and you help them to cope with what they're suffering with?
So it's let's say like someone that's got severe, like there's schizophrenia, and like schizophrenia is a difficult sort of illness to have. It goes through phases, so it can be like in remission. It's like cancer. You're in remission for years, you're fine, and then all of a sudden it's back again. So I had a patient, and there's been no issues. He had schizophrenia. There's been no issues for years and years, and then all of a sudden recently he's starting to get these like episodes, out of body experience. It's very, very. Everyone's different, so this is just from what I dealt with that day. And there's it's like St Mary's Hospital. That's the mental health hospital. So there's people that are on call that you contact, so get them the help professionally. My job was to listen to their problem. They got in a bit of trouble. They get sent to me, and my job is to figure out, are you just causing trouble or is there something wrong? My job was to differentiate the difference between that, and I thought, right, you're poorly. You're not just causing trouble, you're actually poorly. So I then directed them to that service, and then they had to be seen as an inpatient where they stay in the hospital and get the help they need, the medication, no phones, no contact. You're in sort of a safe room. There's no like things that you could harm yourself with or anything like that. So it's and it's hard for me to actually
differentiate.
Yeah, it's hard because you really have to dig deep, but without digging deep, you don't want to throw the person off.
Yeah. So how did you learn them skills? How did you gain the confidence to go behind the scenes and just speak, seek the help for you to become the person you are, where you can help people that suffer with mental health?
I've done a lot of training.
Yes.
Obviously, I've got a few years' experience in it. It's not something that I do at the moment, but it's something that I've previously done. So I always have that with me. And it's these skills you never forget. How to communication is key. I have good communication skills, and I've got a way of speaking to people and making them feel safe.
Yeah.
Safe is a word. It's like you can feel physically safe, you can't feel mentally safe.
Yes.
I'm not interested in making you feel physically safe.
Yeah.
I'm not a threat. I'm 4'11". I can't even reach the door handle properly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you
let's
mean.
be honest.
Yeah.
But mentally safe, now that's a whole different category. I can make you feel mentally safe, and I can make you reel off a lot of things that you probably didn't even know. It's just that's how I've been trained.
Yeah.
It's not an overnight thing. And then there's people that have been uptight. Oh, you can't get anything out of me. You can't get anything out of me. And I just say, I'm not here to get anything out of you. I'm not. I'm just here to speak to you. And when I'm speaking to you and I'm helping you, I am getting things out of you. I'm getting everything out of you that things that you've forgotten about. They're all coming to the surface now. That's what I wanted to deal with. And then they're shocked, like, oh wait, hold on a minute. I didn't remember that. I forgot about that. My job is that how I've been trained is to get that information out of them in a way that they don't feel under threat and they feel mentally safe. You don't want to feel like you've been attacked or ambushed.
Or embarrassed.
Embarrassed, exactly. You don't want that. Oh, can I trust this person? Can I not? It's just all about making the patient feel safe at the end of the day. It's hard. It really is hard to differentiate the difference between someone that really is poorly and someone that... There's a lot of people, unfortunately, that do things for attention. I think we have to highlight that as well. I think it's important. And people like that, I have to be honest, personally, I don't really have time for because there's people that are really, really struggling. And the people that do things and say things, people that use social media to say things and they're not thinking them, they're not doing anything, they're just doing that for attention. So, no, I just don't agree with it when there's people out there that need the help. You're taking away from the people that need it. And that's what I don't respect. So I feel like we need to sort of learn how to bypass them people, look at the signs. So I know the signs, so I can look at the signs and think, yeah, you're just waffling. And then get to the person that needs the help. That's important. That really is.
So when you spoke to that, like, for example, if you spoke to people that was suffering from schizophrenic and they've come to you and then months after you spoke to them and they come back to you and say, thank you for their help, how does that make you feel as a person as well as what you've done for them and you deep down, like, I'm happy that I've helped this person? How does that make you feel?
It's just, there's no words to explain it. It's like, it just makes me feel, there literally is no, it's just such a good feeling. It's like, wow, me knowing how to differentiate that, me really, all the clogs in my head are going, thinking, how can I get this information? That's actually, it's worked. They've got the help. They've listened to my advice and done what I've intended them to do. And they've got the help and they've come back in the right state of mind. Yeah. You know, they're still poorly, but they're not in an active poorly state, as you want to say. And it's like, what a difference from when you was, let's say, I saw you a month ago and then you got admitted in. It's like, it's just over. It's like a woman having a kid. There's no words to explain it. It's just such a good feeling. I feel like it really is. It's so good. Like, me as a person anyway, I like helping people, but especially when I know the suffering, it's priceless. It really is priceless.
So do you know when people are quite in, like, some people are in denial that they need help, but you yourself can see that they need help. How would you come across people like that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm, like, not me, but just anyone in general, you can tell that when you've been around them, you can tell that they're suffering. But then when you try to help them or in denial, how would you sit down with them and have a conversation with them, or how would you come across that?
So that has happened.
Yeah.
And the thing, like I say, the most, like I say about the making you feel safe. Yeah. I'll just, it's like if you come to me and say, look, this is annoying me, whatnot. But I'm thinking, it's more than that. It's deeper than that. I'm not going to say to you, right, look, I feel like it's deeper than that. Let's get straight to the point. It's not that. Yeah. It's not that. I'll just be like, so, talk to me then. What's causing it? Stress at home, etc. I'm like, what kind of stress? Like general stress, or something like really bothering? Is someone bothering you at home? And then you just ask the subtle questions, not too much and not too forceful, because a lot of people are in denial. I'm fine. And they're really not fine. You just have to word things and give, it's patience. Sort of patience is a virtue, like they say. So you've got to word it very differently, and literally just be patient. Don't push them. If they don't want to answer anything, don't ask them it again. That's the main thing. If someone doesn't want to answer once, don't ask them again. When I say that, I mean, don't ask them this exact same question. So it's like say, oh, what happened to you yesterday at home? Why you were mad? If you say to me, oh, nothing, I'll say, oh, so yesterday when you went home, was it all right? No, I said, oh, why, what happened? I'm asking the same question.
You've got to word it differently.
I'm wording it differently.
A softer approach in it.
Exactly. I'm not going to think, oh no, she's asked me once, I'm not going to do that again. You got to be careful. And these are all things that you learn in training as part of the job that I did. These are all things that you do. But there's a lot of people that are in denial. And to those people that are if there's anyone out there that is in denial, there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, there is nothing wrong with that as long as you take something from this, because things can go downhill quickly. Not to scare you, but it's just the truth. It's a reality that we're living. You see what I mean? It is reality. So things can go down quickly. So that's why it's important, as I say, to speak up. If you don't feel like speaking to a friend or family member, speak to someone that doesn't know you personally. Speak to a GP. Speak to even some people at work. There's like around workplaces, there's loads of like posters about like mental health and things like that. Speak to one of them. It's all anonymous. Just dial the number and speak to someone, and at least let them try and navigate you in the right direction. It's all about care navigation, and we have the duty to make sure everyone's okay. So if you are in denial, like I say, I really do urge you to speak up. No one can force you to speak up, but just before it's too late, because we've also got to think about, obviously, you're suffering, which is bad enough. If something happens to you, or if you do anything to yourself, you're leaving behind your mum, your dad, your family. There's an impact
on other people, yeah.
So, and we don't want to make that a trend or a pattern to the younger generation, and also we just don't want to hurt. You don't want to hurt your family. Never mind hurt yourself either. So I do think it's important to speak up. Obviously, you don't have to do it on this day, but there is ways to go about it.
So going forward for like the younger people, like our age and youngers, what advice would you give them coming up, like with the listeners? What advice would you give them if they are suffering? How would they come across me, you, or anyone? Or what advice would you give them to take the step that they need to take to be able to speak about what they're suffering with?
The first step is recognising it. That's the biggest step, is to recognise there's a problem. That takes a lot of courage to admit to yourself that there is a problem. And then the second step is to act on it. As I say, especially to the younger people, if you don't feel like speaking to XYZ, I'm happy to speak to anyone. As I say, I'm bound by confidentiality anyways. At the end of this, obviously, there'll be details, so you can contact me. You can contact us. It's absolutely fine. And then if you don't want to make that step yourself, we can help you make that step. If it's, been there when you're ringing the GP, whatnot, it doesn't matter. As long as you make the step, that's all we want, really, is to help. So young people, honestly, don't suffer in silence just because you don't want to tell your friends, etc. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to tell your friends. That's fine. But as long as you speak to someone else that maybe doesn't know you, sometimes that's a lot easier to speak to someone that you don't know. Because as bad as it sounds, you still might feel like you're going to be judged, even if it is by your friends who don't judge you for anything, but you still might think, this is mental health, this is not right. You still might feel a type of way, which is normal and it's fine. Nothing wrong with feeling that. But maybe speak to someone that doesn't know you is the advice I would give.
They've got a different approach in it. Just
exactly.
Like, they don't know you at all, so first impression is...
It's like a blank canvas, really, isn't it?
Because if you speak to your friends are like, you haven't shown me that you're suffering. Like, every day we speak every day, it's just like, you find I haven't noticed any change in behaviour. I haven't noticed a change in anything when we speak, or even when I come see you.
Yeah.
But like when you speak to a specialist or anyone that you don't know, they'll give you a better insight.
100%.
Like, I feel like that's a problem like with the young people we have as well. Like you want to act like this big man or even like a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with men, like there's times where you don't want to let your pride go down because you feel like, if I tell my friend I'm suffering with mental health, how will he take it?
Exactly.
But you just want to always keep in your head that, I'm this big man. I've got to label myself as this.
That's it.
Portrait myself that pride is always first. But no, like, you got to put up your pride aside and everything aside for you to become a better person and like heal from what's made you suffer all these years. Even if it's not schizophrenic or anyone suffers mentally, Like even if
You've got your
PTSD,
anxiety,
any
depression, there's
you know what I'm saying,
bipolar,
stress.
there's
plenty.
so many different
Even
things.
ADHD, anything. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
it can be mild, it can be severe. Like as long as you get the help you need, I think
That's the main thing.
that's the main thing.
It don't matter how mild or severe it is, it's still as important. Even if it's something more mild, it's still as important.
Because my mild might be different to your mild.
Exactly, exactly. Everyone's different, and everyone's perception of things are different. I can tell you how I'm feeling, but that might not be really how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
How do you know that? It's one of them. So people can downplay things a lot as well, and I feel like you said just then, a lot of people think, oh, I'm this big woman, or I'm this big man, or I'm this and that, and inside they're crying.
Yeah.
They're really the biggest and toughest, hardest people are the ones that probably, and also as well, the loudest people.
Yeah.
The loudest people are normally the ones that are suffering the most. They're vocalizing everything, but really behind closed doors, it's a totally different story. That's something that is really is common. Like I feel like it's like a mask.
Yeah.
It's like a cover up. They want to portray an image of themselves to try and hide the reality.
Yeah.
The sooner we realise that that's not the correct way to go about things, the better.
Because I've seen a lot of
100%.
people recently with even football, sports, and like work and everything. People tend to commit suicide because at that given moment they're not feeling right. I see with sports, like when young footballers or like young sports people, they don't get that scholarship, they don't get that help to get to that next level.
Yeah.
I feel like specialists from football or any sports or anyone, I think we need to put in place a program that helps people. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
100%.
if you don't put that program in and you just ditch someone and then you expect them to like cope, not everyone can cope. Not everyone's strong-minded. Not everyone's got thick skin.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And
Everyone's different.
I feel like going forward, I think like people, NHS, government, sports, any industry, wherever you work, I feel like there needs to be a little program or a little course that helps you understand yourself when you're upset.
100%.
I feel like once there's that course or just something that helps us understand who we are when we're upset, I feel like going forward, that would help us all, like when we are suffering with mental health, or if you are suffering that day, if you are down that day, and if you are down that week, you know what I'm saying? Just look at, you have to look at the brighter things in life, but it's
100%.
hard when you've got this in your mind that, oh, I can't.
The stigma attached to it.
The stigma attached to it.
Yeah.
I feel like going forward, we need to just community, everyone just help each other out, you know what I'm saying? Obviously it's hard, but I just don't like seeing on the news or like every week you just hear the statistics.
Yeah.
6 people killed themselves this week, 20, 30 have killed themselves this week because of depression, bipolar, anxiety, stress, ADHD, you know what I'm saying? So I think we need to just put like, going forward, we need to like emphasize how important it is to get help.
Yeah, 100%.
So someone helping you can help you. You once someone helps you, you can maybe help someone else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's important in the society today because there's a lot of stuff that can affect your mood, affect your mental health. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even social media, you know what I'm saying?
100%. That's a big part to play. How you meant to look, how you meant to act, how you meant to dress. These things don't help.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like social media portraits and image tools that we need to be this big 23-year-old with this big car. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in life
it doesn't help.
It don't help. I feel like in life everyone's got their own path. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Don't feel like because someone you know has got this big Benz, this big car, or this nice job that you're not achieving. Everyone's got different paths. You know what I'm saying? Like in a year, you don't know what could happen in a year. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even a week, you just need to always keep your head up high. And I think like once we help people change their mentality, or like help them improve their mentality, not even change, just improve the thoughts and how to cope with schizophrenic, ADHD, you know what I'm saying? Just these mental health issues everyone's got. If I feel like if we can help people, then that would be so much better for everyone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel
definitely.
Like just like if you can help the people you've helped, if you can still help the people going forward, I feel like that'd be brilliant, you know what I'm saying? And even me, you know what I'm saying? If I can help anyone, that'd be brilliant as well. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. We've got to be here for each other. All we've got is each other at the end of the day. And there's a lot of facade around situations, but we really do have to stick together. We really, really do.
I'm upset when people say like, the only way I could cope with is by offing themselves, you know what I'm saying? I'm upset when I hear people like, they must have thought like that, but it's upsetting because maybe if they just had one or two conversations and if
Yeah.
someone could sit down with them and just write down a little program for them and like see them a week, you know what I'm saying?
Just offer them some support, or even it's just listening to someone, even just letting them offload. If you just sit in silence and just let them speak, it's just like getting it off the chest, rather than it building up, and then it's escalated into a situation that's uncontrollable. That's when things start to go south real quick, sort of thing. Definitely, when you let things build up, it does no good. I've seen the damage it can do, and it really isn't good. So that's something that I feel like we need to take from it. Obviously, the situations in Leeds, like we know, people have unfortunately passed away.
Self-harm as well.
Exactly. That's another one, and especially for the young people that are in high school at the moment. Wow, self-harm rates in high school are ridiculous, especially through COVID, skyrocketing. Absolutely skyrocketing. It's like the pressure. I feel like the pressure's just, it's too much, and then they do this. It doesn't. It can escalate from then. It can go from a simple self-harm sort of act to something. So it can escalate to something so much deeper, which is what we need to avoid. It's bad.
High school, primary school, sixth form, university. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I feel like lecturers as well, and like people like teachers need to just come as a group and see how they can help individuals. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard when it's hard enough. But I feel like if we all take time out our day to even speak to the loved ones you don't really speak to every day.
Yeah.
Just speak to people that you don't really speak to, and if you can sense there's something wrong, just maybe be a bit more patient with the people you care about. You know what I'm saying? Just be a bit more patient and just hear them out. You know what I'm saying? Because
Definitely.
it's the stigma around it is it's not good, and I feel like once we as people get that across, it'll be better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
So what else would you like to add about mental health? What else would you like want to put out there?
It's more so the services that are accessible to young people, obviously, which we'll put up at the end for you guys. These services are all confidential as well. Nothing gets passed on. It's not like that. They're not going to contact anyone on your behalf. It's unless it's an immediate threat to life, i.e. you say you're going to hang yourself. Now, of course, they're going to act on it. But other than that, it's all confidential. So just speak to them. That's what they're there for. The Samaritans are there 24/7. The crisis team are there 24/7. Day or night, they're there. They're really, and they link in with the other mental health institutions as well. So these are services that are available to you, not just if you're struggling in the moment, but if you've struggled in the past and you don't want it to happen again. If you notice something or you are thinking something's not quite right, that's what the services are there for. So we need to utilise them properly. And like I say, if like you said earlier, if you manage to help yourself, you can then help other people.
I feel that's the main thing, isn't it?
Literally, if you save one person, that's one person who's still alive, and the family's still got that one person. They're not having to bury the child.
Yeah, I feel that's
one person is a big.
It's a network. You know what I'm saying?
Thing.
Because it's the friends, family, people that they know. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if we can, even if you can help one person, that's more than enough. You know what I'm saying? Anyone you can help, that's the main thing. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I feel like when we can come together as a community and help each other, I feel like that's better. But it's just making that first step.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Is there anything else you've got to add?
No. Just please do look at the links at the end, and my inbox is open to anyone. Any questions, or as I say, it's all private, confidential, anonymous. I'm not that type of person. I'd rather help you. So if you feel like you want to speak to me, absolutely fine. Contact me and I will help you and put you in touch with the services that you do need to help going forwards. So please don't feel like you're alone and that you have to suffer in silence. It's really not that. There are people that are willing to speak to you and are willing to help you. So please take the help, is what I'll say.
Thank you today, Mayella, you know what I'm saying, for coming out and
of course.
speaking about this topic. And I'll be leaving Mayella's details below, and all the links that she sends me, I'll be leaving them as well. So if you feel like you want to speak to me or Mayella, just make sure you just contact one of us.
Yeah.
And thank you for today, Mayella.
No, it's all right. Thanks for having me. I feel like we've got the message across, and I just hope people act on it.
Make sure you just like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and whatever you lot want to see, just make make sure you just leave comments below. And thank you for the feedback. Thank you once again, Myla.
Thanks.
How you all think that was? Was it